Okay, here, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's just start the show. It's Tuesday, August 18th, 2020, and we just had the Democrat National Tron convention, wherever it was held, inside the internet somewhere, inside the interweb. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Victrix.
Milwaukee,
Victrix.
Wisconsin.
How we doing, Victrix?
Hey, doing good.
Doing
Twigs. Good. How we doing out there, Twigs?
Hey, what's going on? Just bunkered down here, trying to weather the DNC storm. I guess it's I didn't have the stomach to watch it, so you guys will have to fill me in if you can.
And neither did I, honestly. And we were hoping to have Mr. Anonymous on. Maybe he'll call in still. I don't know. We have the communication channels open. Victrix, did you see the convention?
I just saw part of day one. I didn't really, I'm just seeing highlights.
Wait, there's more than one day? You mean it's not over?
It's three straight days.
Oh my God, where?
This is a convention, just
what
like
website?
You said, like a what? It's on all the major networks.
What website are they holding it at, though?
Everywhere. It's
There's
everywhere.
Not actually an in-person something somewhere. What are they doing? I know they rented someplace.
I think it's all pre-recorded stuff. I think they're doing a total online. They're trying to pretend like they're being the smart ones. They're not going to do any kind of in-person stuff.
Right.
Now, but it is in Wisconsin. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see much of it. I just saw Michelle Obama.
Tell us about what you did see.
Michelle Obama just recorded herself, and she didn't go there. Nothing live from her location, from her bunker. Pretty much just a recorded divisive speech, and really didn't have anything good to say. Nothing good for anybody's wallet. I know that. I didn't hear one thing good for anybody's wallet in what she said. What I heard was social justice. There's going to be a lot. It's going to get a lot worse if you don't.
That's what I want to talk about. That's why I brought it up. I don't know who brought it up. I guess everybody brought it up because it happened.
She said it's going to get a lot worse if Joe's not elected. Is that what you're saying?
So listen. On that, Michael Obama. That's Michael Obama that we're talking about, right?
Yes, Michael.
Okay, so Michael was up there, and basically had an opportunity. He had an opportunity to say something in opposition to the horrors that are going on in like places like Portland. Michael could have stood up there, and he could have said, "We condemn what's going on, and people need to come together and love each other. And this is terrible. We don't want this in the country." But instead, Michael said, "Vote for Joe Biden, or more of this is coming." Basically, made a threat, a passive threat to all the free people of America.
That's what it seemed like.
That's
what
absolutely,
it seemed like.
Because they have no substance to stand on, like literally zero substance. So this is classic. I mean, I like I said, I didn't see it, but I can't say I'm surprised, and I know another one of the big words is reimagine the country, reimagine education. I mean, Bill Gates has been kicking that around forever, like we have to reimagine how we educate our children.
See, but
why? Now they're talking about reimagining the country. I mean, they've already planted the seed. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like they keep planting these seeds, and they have been for so long, and like it's all coming to a head now, and it's just
you can only reimagine stuff so many times. I mean, just people need to just cool off and focus on something useful and productive, and something that they can strive for instead of just trying to change every damn thing.
Yeah, change what though?
Hey,
change the best place in the world, like what
behind you, that hillside in your background, Rob. Is
it's a little bigger
divisive.
than a hill.
I want to get rid of it.
I'm pretty sure that's Nellis.
I want the state to pay
Might
for
not
it.
be. No, that doesn't look like Nevada. No, that's not that. No, it's looks too cold. I don't know. Anyway, look, they're threatening Americans, right?
It always seems that way. It's a real read between the lines, boot in your face type of thing. They do their best, they really do, but the Constitution always gets in their way from really getting into some super grimy stuff. It always firewalls them. It has from the beginning. I watched Obama struggle with it. You can go on TV and trash talk guns all you want, but he knows there's safes all over America with firearms.
Look, I had a.
He's not
It
gonna
looks
get
like. Hey, it looks like
Here we go.
Mr. Anonymous
We
might
have an
be joining us.
emergency transmission.
Yes, this is a
Gentlemen,
Mr. Anonymous, are you with us?
Mr. Anonymous. There he is.
hey, thanks for having me, guys. I know you are busy, but I appreciate you allowing me to call in from the West Coast.
You're always welcome, sir.
This is a critical transmission anytime you're on the call.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Can we just dive in, Mr. Anonymous? I think that you probably saw more of the convention than we did. I know it sounds a little irresponsible. We're trying to save the world and all that, maybe we should be up to speed on these things, but mostly I don't think it matters, but I'm sure people would like to know what happened. Do you know what happened?
Sure.
I didn't feel like throwing up last night, so I decided
Yeah, and I don't blame you. We've got round 2 tonight with their number 1, Bill Clinton, but last night was equally disturbing and disappointing for many reasons. You had Michelle Obama, who for the first time in history as a first lady, talked about a sitting president the way she did. They never had class, the Obamas, but last night, sure enough, reassured us that they have no class. And Michelle let us know that there was no reason for Trump to be in office. And Trump had a great response, and he said, I wouldn't be in office if it wasn't for your husband. And you know what I can't figure out?
That's the truth. Wow.
Most of all,
yeah, that's our boy.
with all that money, Michelle Obama still can't get her teeth fixed. I mean, what the hell's up with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I'll tell
I
you
don't
what,
know.
it sounds.
She spent her time. I mean, she was just scathing and nasty. Nancy Reagan would have never have done it. Jackie O would never have done it, and Melania would never have done it. In fact,
not.
all you hear from Melania Trump is about Christ, God, and children. That's all you hear about her. That's all she ever says. No one ever follows her page on Twitter or Instagram, but if you actually go to our current First Lady's Instagram, it's nothing but grace, class, elegance. She speaks 4 languages, high IQ, where Michelle from day one has done nothing but try to invade the culture and totally threaten and be disgusting to a sitting president. And it is the first time, gentlemen, that a first lady has done that. So congrats to her.
Wow, Mr. Anonymous, thank you so much for that insight and perspective. That was very eloquent and wonderfully put. Very well thought out.
Yeah, it's coming in hot. I like it.
Can I just dip in on that real quick?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sure.
I want to ride his tail fin here. Rush Limbaugh credits the Clintons for all his success. It's funny how he's touching on how Trump credits the Obamas with him getting in, because it's just endless.
Well, it's true.
Endless fun.
The American people have had it. Everyone says, well, it's so chaotic with Trump. Listen, Obama spent 8 years just throwing a little kindle on the fire. It wasn't a blaze yet, but he just booby-trapped the place. He booby-trapped the country with little flare-up riots, with more executive orders than any other president. So by the time Trump got in, he set off every booby trap that was laid by this guy, and the whole damn thing goes up in flames.
I seem to recall, especially, Victrix, you and I we've been talking about politics since we met. And this is something that we were telling people that Obama was doing from the start. And it's all, we've always been crazy, but now isn't it just, I don't want to, I hate saying I told you so, because that means it's happening. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of different phases of Obama. Unfortunately, I know them all too well, but it was very different from the way he ran his campaign to when he got in, and it just tapered off into different styles. He kind of conformed and just played and rode waves that he could. He even shifted a little bit to the right for a second and then pulled the rug out from
they
everybody
pander
with Obamacare. What's that?
They do. They are all good at pandering. They all pander from time to time, especially during election season. They just go from room to room and say whatever the room wants to hear. And they're also wonderfully adept at red herring is not the word I'm looking for, but a distracting tactic of accusing you of doing what they're doing while they're doing it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
projection. And I'm glad you brought up
Sorry.
I'm glad you brought up pandering, because I read an article. I don't know if I read an article, if I heard somebody say it, or not my words, but it was pretty powerful when I heard it, because somebody said there's a big difference between pandering and flip-flopping. Like, and it's actually not necessarily
There's a third
bad
one to throw in there too.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a bad thing if you flip-flop on something, if it makes sense. Like, if you're going back and forth, that's one thing. But
right.
But they were referring to Donald Trump, because they were appealing to his reason. Like, he's a reasonable guy, and he can have his mind changed.
Exactly.
He's not pandering.
You can talk to him. Yeah.
You can
he will listen to you,
and
hey, you can change his mind if you're reasonable.
If it makes sense, you can change his mind. It's not that he's pandering; it's that he's
exactly,
being reasonable.
They try
That's
and
how
paint
he
it as
is.
such.
Trump always says, "I'll look into it." I haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
But I'll look into it.
But he had certain opinions that, the guy used to be a Democrat, and we all knew this going into it. And I know that a lot of people that I know, I don't know if you guys are in this camp, but my parents and family and other friends and lots of people who had to vote for him for the Republican ticket. Look, I understand why they were afraid of him. I understand that. I even get never Trumpers. I don't agree with them. I think that they don't see a lot of all the things that we see, but I understand them. You know what I mean? I can get inside their head. I just wish they could see the whole picture. But he has a capacity. The man has shown a capacity to change his mind that I've never seen in a politician before in my life. I mean, in my lifetime, he was a Democrat going into it. That's what a lot of people were worried about. And I told everyone that, listen, the guy is going to become the conservative that you want to see in the White House. He's gonna learn the system real quick, and he's going to listen to people. Because he's never been the president, he's never been in politics before. And people who think he's stupid, they're stupid, they're retarded too. Listen, the guy's a billionaire. I don't care how much, whatever loan he got from his dad. He got $1 million from his dad one time, and how many years
he paid it all back.
Yeah, and listen, people have loaned me money for business ventures before. I've lost it. Shit. I'm a smart guy. Donald J. Look, you have to be a very skillful, adept, aware person to take $1 million.
Absolutely.
Trump empire.
Absolutely. What's the difference from getting it from a bank? I mean, the guy took that money and did what America's all about. He turned it into something massive. I mean, listen, I don't know when the last time you guys went to New York City, but Trump's imprint's everywhere. Let me talk about the Central Park ice skating rink that brings joy to millions of families across all religions and races every year. That ice rink was donezo. He put up his own money and fixed it. Let's talk about all the
He's
Trump
a charitable guy.
Let's talk about the Trump hospitals in New York City. Let's talk about Fifth Avenue, okay? And I don't care what they've got to say. This is coming from Hollywood, California over here. The Trump hotels in New York City are the nicest hotels in New York, and every celebrity stayed there until 2016. If you were anybody, an actor or a musician, we were all at the Trump Central Park. And if the Trump Central Park was full, you were at the Trump Soho. The guy makes great products. And go ask any of those liberals now that you can't stay there. You've got to admit it was a phenomenal hotel. So you go into New York City, you see the guy's imprint everywhere, okay?
Yeah. It's such an amazing point.
Donald loves New York City. He always shows his passion for New York.
Yeah, and he's pissed off about the status of it now, and I don't blame him. So is everybody else there.
So there are people saying that. Go ahead, Mr. Anonymous.
No, I mean, you've got communist Bill de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo, who Andrew Cuomo would be nothing without his father, by the way, Mario. You know, but it's not okay for Trump to get a virtual inheritance from his father and turn it into something absolutely incredible. But they're all absolutely insane. I mean, Bill de Blasio today was talking about their contract chasing, and these liberals, I don't know what they think people want to hear.
They're on a power trip.
But for DNC round 2 tonight, which everybody's broadcasting despite the low ratings, the fact that they're propping up Bill Clinton is making actually most liberals really upset.
Yeah. Well, look, eventually they're going to destroy themselves. They can't do anything else. Look, they are evil. Okay. And I'm talking about bubbly, gooey, boiling, hot pitch, hot tar, and it oozes around and seeps around and creeps into people's minds, people who are corruptible. And look, you can see it going on there. There's a war on the human spirit. You don't have to be religious. You just have to see, like you have to, they hate you. They hate everything that makes life good. They're trying to destroy. You can do anything as long as it doesn't bring you joy, as long as it doesn't feel free. And everything else is acceptable to these people, including perverting your kids. Destroying, the kids should be building relationships right now. I'm talking about the younger kids, elementary school kids. They should be learning how to form relationships, how to appropriately touch one another. Instead, they're being made to fear each other. These kids' worlds, they're largely magical. Kids don't know anything about the world. They're still trying to figure it out. And they believe what adults tell them. And now suddenly they live in a world where at the drop of a hat, their friends can become scary and threatening. And this is the youngest of them. It's ruined them forever because it's real to them now. It'll be real to them forever. And you'll be able to do this to them forever.
You're exactly right. I saw some video of some family members and Twigs, you could speak on this too, in Texas of their kids starting school today with their iPads and computers, if your family can actually afford one, talking to their teachers, and they still send the kids to school to get their lunches and come back home and do it. It's sick.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's.
Oh yeah, they have to go to school to get their crappy Michelle Obama lunches.
Yeah, and she doesn't look like she's in the best of shape. What's she doing picking kids' lunch?
Who the hell does she think she is, telling everybody
she thinks
what
she's
packing their kids' lunches?
Empress.
Just get out of here with that.
They're scared shitless. It's pretty clear.
Oh,
they're
scared.
They're scared shitless. I mean, Trump has the bullseye on that whole administration. They know it, and they're freaking out. They can act like
freaking out from day one, but
they can act like
really...
they can. Yeah, I mean, it's really showing. They can act like they're in control, and maybe they have a little bit, but I think control is more on the.
I think it's all an illusion.
Side.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
They own the television. They own the information. Yeah. It's just an illusion.
Yeah. They don't own
the American people hate this.
Yeah, they don't own the people.
Well, listen, guys, it's a war. It's a battle is what it is. But it's, even in 2016, they were getting violent at Trump rallies, if you remember. But they didn't have BLM wasn't in full effect for those rallies. I think that was like Occupy.
No, they were just coming up with BLM
ICE
back
and
then.
Other ones. Yeah, but you'll notice when Obama hit that second term, that's when a lot of these groups started to really. He's like, all right, everybody loves what I'm doing. They support me, and then BLM, they're in the White House like every other day, getting checks and. Eating the food there, and
yeah, he had a lot of,
what the hell are they doing there?
A lot of money indirectly went from that White House to these organizations.
There's a lot of them. There's dozens and dozens, and there's organizations within organizations, and no one knows what's going on.
I guarantee you, plenty are still getting funded from Obama that the administration can't even catch up on yet, that are just under these lousy names that we don't even know about.
Yeah, certainly.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say from the very beginning, from the very beginning. Look, there's a lot of things going on, the few layers here. Ultimately, everything's going in one direction, though. But one of the things that this all smelled like to me from the beginning was some giant money laundering operation. This whole coronavirus shit, locking people in their homes. Why'd the toilet paper disappear off the shelves? What the fuck was that about?
Oh, well, no doubt. And then explain to me how Kamala Harris has a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom mansion in Brentwood, California.
These
I mean,
people all have
where
mansions,
there's
yeah.
all this, they all have mansions. And I'm talking about some on the right,
That's
too.
some pretty big dough right there. That's pretty flashy.
I mean, it's Brentwood is the most exclusive neighborhood, more expensive than Beverly Hills right now. You know, that's where OJ, lived during the Nicole Brown murders. I mean, it is where Justin Bieber lives. I mean, that is high-priced real estate.
Well, she was a judge for a little bit, right, Mr. Anonymous?
Who?
Prosecutor.
The prosecutor. Well, okay.
Kamala?
That's not
Kamala?
quite judge pay. That's not judge pay.
Kalama.
That's not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Uncle Phil. He had a mansion, but that's big time judge pay right there.
Yeah, well,
That's big time.
He's a prosecutor.
Uncle Phil had private law firm dough. I mean, not funded by the public.
Yeah, Uncle Phil was definitely a conservative. He probably made himself.
Hey guys, I don't remember any racism to speak of growing up. It just kind of happened when Obama came in.
100%.
Well, no, look at our favorite shows growing up. We were watching Family Matters.
Yeah.
Carl
I
Winslow.
love Steve Urkel.
Officer
Winslow.
Good point, man. Good point.
Yeah.
And, and that was and listen, Family Matters was probably my favorite show.
It was
and
brilliant.
That was about a black cop, Carl Winslow, and his family in Chicago.
And he
Nailed
was
it.
He was a model of a decent American.
Mr. Anonymous.
I mean,
he was the great. Everybody loved that family. We're white, black, brown. We adored that family.
Yeah, we overcame this shit already. And
guys,
Obama
these were just people
up.
were just worried about putting out a good TV show, a good series. They weren't worried about all the other crap. We didn't have that like it is now. That's why those programs really grabbed everybody, because they were just authentic.
Yeah,
they were so real
TV.
deal. It was almost real life because they were just authentic.
How ironic is it that the new movement is Black Lives Matters, when like the predominant, like the iconic, I should say, Black Lives show was Family Matters? I mean, how ridiculous.
Hey, that is an excellent observation.
How ridiculously ironic is that?
Oh,
yeah,
Mr.
very.
Anonymous nailed it on the head on that.
Oh, I mean, that was
Victrix. That was
no, he's saying that.
No.
Mr. Anonymous is the one that brought up Family
Oh,
Matters.
yeah. No, I thought you were talking
the nature
specifically
of those shows overall. What was the one? Martin.
I mean, how many
great shows?
I've seen every Martin.
How many iconic shows were there that featured black families? But you know what?
Cosby, isn't it weird? He turned out to be the look, and that's that's a segue into another point. Sometime all these pedophiles in Hollywood, they hide so well. Dr. Huxtable, America's dad, turned out to be a rapist.
Sure. They want to destroy. They've been trying to destroy the black family since the 40s and 50s, and these shows America loved, and they had to take them down. And whether or not Bill Cosby's innocent, he had to be taken out.
Well, what do you think about that?
Well, here,
I've heard. Not to interrupt you, I've heard most of the African American black free thought thinkers that I really enjoy listening to, even if they skew a little bit to the left, but who care about the family, swear he's innocent.
Because it's astonishing to me.
It's astonishing. Most of the women that accuse him, sure, he was at the Playboy Mansion. Who wasn't?
I would go.
That was. I think.
Why wouldn't you go?
But you never hear about these accusers again. You couldn't name. Now you could name a bunch of Harvey Weinstein accusers because you remember those women.
Yeah.
But you can't really name one Bill Cosby female accuser off the top of your head. You've heard stories about Harvey Weinstein's victims from Gwyneth Paltrow. You know, when Brad Pitt was dating Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Pitt found out about this in the 90s, he walked up to Harvey and said, "I'm going to kill you." You know, so you remember those, you know, that's how you kind of know it's real because everybody's talking about it. You know, to give Cosby a little credit, if he's guilty, he should be in there. But if he's not.
But it is astonishing to me, though. I never suspected Dr.
But
Huxtable.
where do you draw?
Ghost Dad.
This is my
Ghost Dad.
This is my
great film.
This is what I struggle with. Like I get it. You know, if you're pulling that kind of shit, you know, it needs to be dealt with, you know, and justice needs to be served to the fullest extent.
Oh yeah.
However, if you were part of a program that impacted a generation and that had a positive message, is it worth destroying that whole thing?
Oh, I'll still watch the Cosby Show. Why
that's
wouldn't you watch
where
TV?
I mean that's where I struggle with it. It's like, does it really like?
I don't know.
You should be able to separate them to an extent. I mean, like, because I understand cancel culture and I understand how that's what, you know, like. But is that
no reason to destroy it?
But is that really what? Is that really what? That's not what the show was about, though, right? You know what I mean?
No,
so
it was a wholesome, good show.
So it's like, what I mean, like, where, like, well, that's where it's hard though. Like, where do you draw that line? Like, okay, well, this guy was a horrible person.
The show is not about Bill Cosby. I mean, I guess it was us. Was that the Cosby family in there? No, it was Huxtable. But what was it? I somehow was supposed to mirror. I don't remember. But I know it was anyway. Hey, the guy's an actor. The character Dr. Huxtable in the show is a written, imagined character, and he's a good guy. You know, Bill Cosby just happened to play him. So,
are there wholesome shows anymore? I mean, I don't watch TV. I mean, I watch TV shows, but I don't watch like regular cable TV. Because now everything.
The Jeffersons was
Star
a
Trek
good
for
one
about
too.
15 years.
That was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, is there? I mean, Mr. Anonymous, you might know better than we do, since you're kind of.
No, there's not. In fact, you know,
King of the Hill.
Say most of it's the opposite, and this is when you get to, you know, the creative minority idea that Toynbee wrote about, and how when the creative minority is in charge, you know, you get great stuff like we were getting, and when they're not, we have what we have now, all the influence kids. I mean, listen, the DNC had an African American man in a dress last night singing. That not only was an attack. That not only was an attack on your children, that was an attack on the black man. That was an attack on the black man, because they always embarrass them and say, this is the African American man.
Well, that's part of the evil oozing around. That's what it seeks to do, is pervert life, it seeks to make normal weird and weird normal. And it seeks to ostracize those that want to live a normal life. It's all it wants to do. Its end game. It's not its means to an end. It is the end in itself. Is just to make you confused, scared, worried, sad, afraid. You know, and just to torment you, harm you, kill you if it suits it. You know. Evil I'm talking about funky, stinky, creepy.
Maybe you can run the clip
bubbly oil. Evil
of Billy Porter, who enjoyed dressing up in drag. He's a name out here in Hollywood, and they had him on last night dancing. So honestly, if I were Trump, I would just run that clip. Vote for this or don't.
Yeah.
If you want your country going this direction, if you want your television, your film, your kids' schools, if you want them looking at that, just vote for it then. If you don't, which 95%, especially black people, because let's be honest, homophobia is a big deal there. They don't want that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't have anything against homosexuals. I don't know what the politically correct term is anymore.
Absolutely
Say what?
Not. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
Well, this is not even homosexuality. This is next level. This is we are going to confuse your children into whether they're boys or girls.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's
what
one of
it
the
is.
saddest, most horrible, evil things. Think about these people that are so brainwashed and tricked into doing things like mutilating their bodies and listen, I have a friend who works in a cardiac unit in a hospital around here, lifelong friend, and he actually also happens to work in the COVID unit. Since this started happening, so we can have him on the show and give some actual, real, firsthand information. But being that he's in a place in the hospital where emergencies happen, I mean, he's worked at a few hospitals. He says that these transgendered people that have these operations, the suicide rate with them is through the roof. It's through the fucking roof. They have this they talk to these people who convince them that they're not a boy or not a girl, that they're the other one or something else or a tomato or whatever, and they have an operation and they end up committing suicide because they have mutilated. They've been fooled by people who pretend to be looking out for them, for their best interest.
They go along with it.
To shepherd them. Yeah.
No doubt. I think the rate's actually around 40% post-surgery for the suicide.
That's pretty fucking high. That's 4 times 10%, people. I think that if it's measurable, it's crazy. We're not talking 1 or 2%. We're talking 40%. I don't know.
That's not good. That's
so
not good.
Anyway, that's part of what evil is. Listen, I want to talk about while we have 15 minutes left, gentlemen. This stuff going on in Portland. This guy who got kicked in the head. Let's bring this up specifically. This guy, they were running. Imagine being these people, afraid for their lives, and they're already injured, and they try and speed away. And for whatever reason, they lose control and they crash into a building, and the truck is burning. And these people they love it. They're running up to it. Oh, I crashed into the building! Look, they're awesome! And they pull them out of the car. They say, you're not going anywhere, pal. Imagine how horrifying this. You're not going anywhere. Basically, when they say you're not going anywhere, that basically means we're going to kill you. We're here to kill you. That's what that means, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you say that to a free person and you're beating them, you pull him out. I mean, and why? Because he's white? Because he was. How many people? Listen, I wonder how many people are white in this country. Do you think it's a big number? I think it's a fairly big number. Ladies and gentlemen, they're doing this because of the way you were born. Did I just have a? Can you guys still hear me? I think something just happened with my.
Yeah, but something just changed though, for sure.
Damn it. Okay.
You lost your microphone.
Well, regardless, I mean, to pick up where you left off, I mean, did you guys see that footage?
I did. Disturbing.
Yes, it's the saddest thing I've ever seen. It's so sad. Mr. Anonymous, please, while I figure out my audio situation here.
No, Twigs. I think Twigs would be better on that topic, but I saw it and I didn't like it.
No, I mean, it was disgusting. Did you see that the woman that was with him got tackled? Did you see that before that? They tackled her.
I saw that.
But, and that was before that whole incident happened of him getting kicked in the head. I mean, I haven't followed up on the story, but last I heard, he was like still in a coma or still in the hospital at least.
I heard that he died.
He died. Wow.
I heard he died. Of course. I mean, look. I remember when this first started happening, when people first started getting beaten by these people, and I was saying on Facebook, look, they're murdering people. And people were demanding evidence from me. Evidence? Look at these people. They're not going to survive a beating like that. They're fucking murdering people. Robbie Coates, right again. Look, how many times am I going to be proven? I feel like that if I could get on everyone's TV, like if I had that kind of power, coronavirus wouldn't happen because there's not a fucking anybody in the world that can argue with me.
Well, you had a good point. Look, the DNC had awesome. The Floyd family and the Brown family on their broadcast last night. Let's hope the RNC brings up David Dorn's family, the slain retired police officer who was murdered defending his side job.
Good point, Mr. Anonymous.
So let's get him on the RNC because he did nothing. At the end of the day, well, we can all agree that perhaps, this officer with George Floyd used a lot of force. But George Floyd, now that we've seen that video, was resisting. He was resisting arrest.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, And not only that, but had probably one of the most phenomenal drug cocktails in his body that would have taken down a rhinoceros.
But there's a fact check. You guys can still hear me, right? It's coming through the microphone, like it doesn't sound like I'm coming through like a crappy internal computer microphone, does it?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely sounds like your microphone is not working.
It did. God damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we do during pre-recorded live YouTube if this is happening?
Well,
Okay, so
we try to
Rob,
get you to fix it, and we pick up the slack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep picking. Okay, you guys take it away.
Hey guys, I wanted to real quick while we have Mr. Anonymous on the broadcast, I want to touch base on Major League Baseball, and I came out of the gates pretty hard on the Major League Ball because of BLM, and they were putting BLM on the pitcher's mound. They were really pumping it. They got a lot of backlash. I can tell you, I was in those chat rooms for the Tampa Bay Rays and other ESPN, and I was hitting them hard, giving them a warning shot. And, I didn't watch any games so far, but you know what? I do baseball cards. I do baseball. I've really been waiting for this season. So,
testing 1 2.
For
Sorry,
the first sounds good, Rob.
Awesome.
So for the first time since the season started, I got a Rays Yankees game on. They don't have BLM on the mound. There's no BLM stuff. I did see a TikTok on the background. I question that. I'm sure those kind of are playing together. But we got Blake Snell on the mound. I got to see him up against Gleyber Torres. Baseball's back. Tatis Jr.'s on fire. Eloy Jimenez. We got Roberts. Luis Robert's going crazy. He's Mike Trout. The game's hot. I'm going to say this.
Yeah, but isn't it all politicized?
Well, the thing is, they cut back a little bit. Look, they said their thing. We said our thing. I'm not going to let them take my season away from me.
Do you remember when
this is
Fauci
what I
threw that opening
I do
pitch?
this on the side. What's that?
You remember when Fauci threw that pitch?
Well,
if you don't want to smile, think of that.
Hold on. I don't mind that he did. I just don't like that he's wearing a mask. To me, that messes the whole thing up.
I mind.
Vic, I got a baseball question for you.
The mask is my problem. He didn't need to wear that for that.
I've got a lot of problems.
I've got a baseball question for you, Vic, because this was in the news today. And I don't follow baseball, but I do follow sports and how you'd think competition and what a man wants to win the game at any cost, right? You're not going out there throwing games. Like, you want to win.
You're not paid to bitch around and punk out. I mean, you throw as hard as you can throw, or they got other guys willing to do it.
What's with this story about this baseball player on the Padres getting punished yesterday for hitting a home run and doing a grand slam?
That's Tatis Jr.
And his whole team makes fun of him and says he's a bad sport because he's trying to hit a home run. Explain this to me.
I'm going to need an explanation too, Victrix.
I don't think that's even explainable. Just a bunch of that's a weird thing. You know what it is? He's raking. I got some inside analysts that we're going to be bringing on the show. These are my go-to guys for my baseball work I do. And I've got what I consider some of the best guys in the country. I get my information as it's happening. It's almost real time with these guys. They know what these dudes are eating for breakfast. They know what kind of milk they're putting in their fucking cereal. I mean, it's serious, and I'll tell you, it's fun. But I wouldn't worry about that. Tatis is absolutely, his baseball cards are going nuts. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, why it seems like it's just another attempt to dumb down culture and the modern man. And say,
well, he didn't take it at all. He just, these guys, you gotta understand these guys' mentality.
I mean,
all they know is the game.
Guy.
Yeah, he's probably not even thinking about it. All he's worried about is who's pitching tonight, who they playing next. You know, is he on his diet? He's got to eat in an hour. He's got to take a snack at 10 minutes from now. Like, he's not worried about it. This is when you're on Tatis's level, you don't worry about nothing. You're a robot. You're just automatic. I mean, studs like him, these are the guys they watch for years and years. I mean, this is what you're going after. To guys like this will help you bring a championship home. You know, we're going to have some of these powerful analysts on later in these upcoming
Hey, listen,
shows.
I said that Hubie could come on.
I wanted him to come on our last show. He was busy.
Yeah.
But he'll be on. He wants to talk to us a little bit before he comes on directly, and but he is going to be on.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to all that because this is not my forte. So I'm not even going to pretend to know what I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff. So
what are you talking about? Baseball?
Yeah, that's like baseball, like sports betting.
Oh yeah, that's why I shut up.
Following that stuff, like I don't like, but I'm excited to hear the guys that know what they're talking about go at it.
Yeah,
but look,
I mean, I appreciate it. I'd like to go to a
look
baseball.
behind me there. This is why I bought this baseball card behind me because it was the best card I had. I froze all of my everything.
Would you like to plug
everything.
your card your card business?
Well, you know what? Let's get down the road. This is down the road.
Roger that.
You know, the point
Roger
of
Stone.
the card, the point of what's behind me, Albert Pujols showing class and character, standing for the anthem, you know, Topps captures that, puts it on a card. You know, they're putting Fauci on, but then again, they got, you know, who
putting him on what, a card?
What's that?
What do you say? What are they putting Fauci on? Oh, you mean just on the TV?
Dr. Fauci's on a baseball card.
Why? Doing what? Doing what? Throwing into the stands? Doing what?
First pitch.
Is he the model of perfect form? I mean, come on.
Listen,
I did play Little League. At least I know how to throw. I know how to throw a ball.
Exactly. Listen, I have such a problem with this. Victrix, I know you don't have a problem. Listen, I've had this conversation.
I'm going to lose this. What's funny is he needs a mask to stand out in the middle of the field and throw a ball for pictures. But when he's sitting in the stands, shoulder to shoulder, took his mask off.
Yeah.
That's what I have a problem with. That's why the whole Topps Now 2020, and they did the Topps Now means in the moment, now. Topps Now, like the cards come out every day. That was the Topps Now Fauci for that first pitch. I thought it was a joke because he's wearing a mask. It's a joke.
It is a joke. It's still a joke.
They're playing a political game. I don't like it.
Well, everything needs to change. Everybody's playing a political game. Look, I have such a problem with Fauci not being able to throw. I don't trust an American man, an American male that cannot throw a baseball. That's part of growing up as an American. You learn how to throw a baseball.
Bro.
I'm sorry? Say what?
Not everybody can throw.
No, see, you're wrong, Victor, and I think it's 3-on-1 here now. Pretty sure Twig's Mr.
I can probably throw harder than anybody out of the four of us here.
Okay.
Sure.
We all know how to throw a baseball.
Meaningless.
We're not going to throw into the stands. Look, right. I played third base. That's the longest throw, man. I played third base.
I'm 39. I'm
and
not making any teams. That's for damn sure. So I don't care.
I mean, who doesn't? And it's not like it was a random selection and he got called on the spot. I mean, like, wouldn't you at least try to practice a little bit before, like, at least,
He's never thrown a ball in his life.
But look, I'm serious about this.
To me, that's almost I don't know. I feel like it's almost disrespectful. It's like, okay, like if you're getting selected ahead of time, like at least put in some effort to practice a little bit. Like you don't have to be Nolan fucking Ryan, like, but at least, or even, I don't know. It just pisses me off. I mean, 50 Cent did the same thing, but he's not a bureaucrat.
For the flag.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
50 probably grew up without a dad to teach him,
Exactly, but he's not a bureaucrat either. But it's, the point is, it's just disrespectful in my opinion. It's like, come on, like you don't have to be a rock star pitcher.
Why is he even there?
at least practice.
Why does Dr. Fauci have anything to do with fucking baseball at all?
Thank you.
At all.
Thank
At all. Why?
you.
Why? The head of the Institute of Rhinosinusitis and Nosebleed Association. Why is he throwing out the opening pitch for the Major League Baseball season? What does
he's like the
He
world's.
always bragged.
So-
He was bragging about how much of a Washington Nationals fan he was.
Yeah,
on
but
every
why is he
Trump
on
photo
television?
press
Why
con.
does he have? Okay, here's the question. Here's how I should word it. Why does Dr. Fauci have celebrity?
Because he's
because
the
it's
world's
propaganda, ladies and
sexiest man.
Listen, I
Apparently.
have such a problem with him not being able to throw a ball. Listen, I grew up in a military family. I wanted a military career my entire life. That's a different story. It didn't work out. But my grandpa was a bird colonel in the Air Force. All my uncles were Army. And my dad, everybody. Listen, it's been explained to me by many people growing up in my lifetime that in war, on the ground, it's easy to a lot of these people are easy to defeat because they don't know how to throw, right? They can't throw a grenade and things like that, and it's a product of being an American. It's something that people throughout the world cannot throw like Americans can. So when you're in the trenches and you're throwing grenades, I can't remember exactly how I'm having a brain fart here, but basically, the rest of the planet can't throw a fucking grenade for shit. It's Americans who can do it and do it safely and, return. Anyway, it has something to do. Being able to throw is part of growing up as an American boy, God damn it. If you can't throw a grenade, you're dead. Oh, I feel like I'm going to have to come back. I'm going to have to think about this and put it back together a little bit better. I got to do Rubik's Cube it around a little bit and it'll sound more compelling. But listen, if you're an American male and you can't throw a baseball, I don't know what I agree.
I think red flags go up. And I'm not saying make it, because I realize the mound is farther apart than it seems, but that was a really terrible attempt.
It was pathetic. It was embarrassing. I was embarrassed. Twigs.
Yeah, he's definitely never done a first pitch. So I don't know who the hell decided.
And then Trump was having the thing on the lawn with the kids, right? And then Trump was showing that he could throw.
Trump was throwing bombs on that.
Yeah, he was catching the ball. I mean, I don't know. It's just he used to play ball. I think back in the day.
Exactly. He's an American.
He just,
at 7,
Trump looks like he practiced it all day. Trump was throwing probably for the whole day before. He went up there like he knew what he was doing and just whipped it in there, dude.
And he wasn't gonna try to overdo it, but he wanted to, at least he had decent form. It's not like I don't know. We could harp on this all night long, but it's just annoying as shit, especially with everything else that's going on. It just pisses me off.
Yeah, we're actually out of time, guys. Let's get our closing statements and wrap up the show and put another one in the books and get famous. So what do we? Who wants to?
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sign off first. Just want to tell everybody to tune in next time. And Mr. Anonymous.
Hey, I just want to congratulate you three. Your views for the show are really getting impressive. So keep it up, and thanks for having me on.
Twigs.
Hell yeah. Mr. Anonymous, it's always a pleasure having you. So it was awesome that you joined. Thank you for that. And, I'll kind of say what I always say, love God, love people. I'll keep it short and sweet, but, I don't care what you pray to, whether it's the universe, whether it's God, whether it's Jesus, or whether it's the kitchen fucking table, whatever you pray to, unless it's Satan, pray, because this country needs it for sure.
Thank you, Twigs. Yes, we do have a problem with a religion of anti-religion in this country. I don't think people have to go. I'm not advocating for everyone to become religious and go to church, but my God, there are Satan worshipers all over the place, and I'm not making hyperbole. I'm talking about Beelzebub, and it's you open your eyes, people. It's everywhere. There's a war on the soul going on. No singing in church. Masks that don't do shit. Look, the whole thing is a farce to begin with. Masks that don't do shit. There's no new danger outside, folks. The world is the same. Open your eyes. Nothing has changed. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show. We'd like to thank our contributor, Mr. Anonymous, for joining us today. Mr. Anonymous, it's always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
and it's high praise from you when you talk about the show. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. If people knew who you were, they'd know that's a big deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe and do all those other things that all the other channels tell you to do with those buttons down there. Thank you very much. Goodbye.